like and subscribe. And now let's get straight to it. Countries, the person you elect to run your country is the personality of your country. And you should be very, very careful who you elect to run your country. And it shouldn't be based on emotions. It should be based on the intellect. What Netanyahu is doing and has done is a crime against humanity. Just like when Hitler tried it, it was a crime against humanity. And the world came to the rescue of the victims. And the world is coming to the rescue of the victims now. Even in Israel, the world is coming to the rescue of the victims. And no amount of propaganda and lies are going to change the minds of people. Does anyone really think that the world is not going to object to a hospital being bombed, a refugee camp being bombed, schools being bombed? Does anybody really, if you don't think the world is going to object to this, then there's something wrong with you. And the proof is now. It's happening right now as we see worldwide objections in the millions to what Israel is doing. And no amount of propaganda or calling people anti-Semitic is going to help you. And no amount of propaganda. Let me explain something to you right now. What Netanyahu has done is the same thing the United States did when they got into the war in Vietnam. The exact same thing. They ended up dropping bombs and getting out of there because they were fighting. It was jungle warfare. The people had tunnels. All they had to do when they see tanks and stuff coming is wait for the tanks to go by and then come out the tunnels behind them and then take out the tanks and take out the men surrounding the tanks. But even worse than this is the fact that now you have more sophisticated rocket launchers. The missiles and the rockets in those rocket launchers are much more deadly. Some of them have 2 warheads on them. So you're talking about 5 or 6 guys, just like in Vietnam, 5 or 6 guys jumping out the tunnel, or 20 or more, jumping out the tunnel, bam, 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 jump back in the tunnel and they're gone. And now you're going to lose a 10, 15, $20 million tank. And anybody that's surrounding that tank. And they're going to be doing it with rocket launchers that, I don't know, value maybe $5,000. And you're going to be, there's no way that Israel has gotten even half of the tunnels. The place is full of tunnels. That they use tunnels to bring in, not just for Hamas to fight, they use those tunnels to bring in food and groceries. They're all over the place. You can't take them out. And you're doing exactly what the United States did. When they got those little surprise attacks and the guys ran back in the tunnels, they signaled for a aircraft attack. And then they came and they just dropped bombs, I hate to say it, on innocent people. This is the same thing. History repeating itself. And I'm going to tell you something else. An aircraft carrier is of no value. No value whatsoever. It's just a big target. You have You know, we have GPS nowadays. These aren't just Scud missiles where you're trying to figure out the range and all this kind of stuff. These things have GPS. Once they lock in, they are locked in. This is not 1970, 1980. And now you're talking about a sitting duck. And that aircraft carrier is a big target. It contains a lot of men in a small space and aircraft. They will be sending drones and guided missiles to attack those aircraft carriers. And you could send 100. It would be, they have thousands and thousands of these drones and missiles. They could send 100 of them at one aircraft carrier. And there is no way in the world they can knock all those missiles out. It's totally impossible. It's not cost effective and it's not man effective. It is ineffective. And you have to have so many supply ships to supply the thing. That's a waste of money. An aircraft carrier, if it's not for medical purposes, it has no value. None whatsoever. And the tanks, no value. Smaller weapons can take out all this stuff. This is the 2000s. This is not 1940, 1970, not even 1980. This is the 2000s. You've lost the propaganda war. No amount of propaganda is going to help you. You have people right there in Israel. You have Israel is divided. The United States is not supported by the people. Europe is not supported by its people. Nobody that isn't only a psychopath is going to support the bombing of children. The bombing of children. Only a psychopath is going to support that. That's all. No propaganda is going to clean this up. And calling people anti-Semitic, okay, I'm anti-Semitic. So was Jesus, Yahshua, big deal. It's not a crime to be anti-Semitic. Not one single bit. And when Americans realize that you really run the United States, Israel runs the United States government because the United States gives Israel $3.9 billion a year. And probably $1 billion of that probably goes back into lobbying to get politicians to do your will. So in essence, the United States is actually giving Israel the money that it needs to control the United States. Isn't that a doozy? And the politicians made it legal for outside entities to support the politician. In their greed, they made it legal for the United States to be defeated from without and for them to act opposite of what the people want. Now the United States is running around talking about we may have to close the government, they're having money problems and this, that, and the other, and they're giving money away to Israel. And they're supporting wars that the people of this country don't want. And they could be putting the people's lives in danger in this country by supporting genocide in Palestine. This is a never-ending war. You will be supplied with weapons from now on, Israel, and you're going to need them because you're going to be getting hit all the time. You just walked into, every time somebody, do you think you're going to build up a state in Israel? And people are just going to forget what you've done, this will never end. This is a never-ending war. How this will end, it's only one way it can end. It's only one way it can end, and it will not be with the deletion of the Palestinian people. That will not end it. You can't, the way the United States got out of Vietnam, they just dropped a bunch of bombs and left. Dropped a bunch of bombs and left to satisfy their ego. And lost. And lost. I don't know if Israelis, if you can just drop a bunch of bombs and then say, okay, forget it. Some people say it has went to the point of no return. And I'm going to tell you something else. The war hasn't even started yet. It hasn't even started. And it is not cost effective because they are fighting you with rocket launchers and from tunnels. Guerrilla warfare. You can't win a guerrilla warfare unless you have infantry, men, and they have to know where they're going. But you know, the biggest problem is this. The way Israel is situated, in the morning, they can attack you. If you try to send in infantry, in the morning, they can attack you from the east because the sun is in your face. Then in the evening, they can attack you from the west because the sun is in your face. Infantry is of no value. You're just going to be, I mean, I don't know what the heck you're going to do. You need to stop now because you can't win. You have the entire world against you. And every time you drop a bomb, more and more people are against you. And the propaganda is not going to help you. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. Deuteronomy 28 in the Bible proves it. You are converts. Because Jews are by blood, not by a religion. Judaism was not a religion. It was just 12 tribes of people. It was an ethnicity, not a religion. And some of you young Israelis don't know this, but your people converted to Judaism. And you know this. I mean, everybody knows that over 50% of the black race has the DNA of a priest. Only 2% or less of you all have the DNA of a priest. Stop me when I'm lying. Like and subscribe. Have a great day. But you all need to figure a way out of this thing because you can't. This is a no-win situation. If you don't believe me, get on the internet and there are a variety of military people that will tell you that you're going to lose this. They don't want to say it. They only want to go so far because they don't want to hurt feelings. I'm going to just tell you the truth. I mean, search the internet. You'll find them. They're out there. All you got to do is read the headlines and they'll tell you that you're in a no-win situation. And the people that are telling, and the people in the United States, Biden wasn't in the military. He doesn't know anything about military strategy. Neither do the people in the Republican and Democratic Party. All they know is if I can get a donation from the ADL, I can win my next election because all they care about is themselves. And to be perfectly truthful with you, all Netanyahu care about is himself and not going to jail. So as long as this drags on, he's out of jail. Like and subscribe. Talk to you later.